hotels that we had done an event with, I was talking with the person, and she happened to share it with the staff, and the next day I got a phone call that one of the women's sisters was in the hospital dealing with uncontrolled bleeding. And we have since helped that family, that there's several members of them who have von Willebrand's from that ask. So the greatest thing about this is that we have the materials. You don't have to develop any of the materials. They're all right there. They're all easily accessible. All you have to do is add your own personal story to it. Why are you doing this? And is it for your son? Is it for yourself? Is it for a friend? And just quickly add that personal story, and those materials are there. The other side of it, though, that's really important is that many companies are hit by, companies are asked all the time for support. Well, with very large organizations, to get into a walk like this, people want $10,000 or $100,000. They want really, really large donations. We can start to give a company recognition at the $500 level. So, and it really is important to tell people they can really start to get their name out for as little as $500. And so that really is a nice selling feature that, and if somebody wants to give us $100,000 or $1 million, we'll name it the cellular hemophilia walk, which we'd have to work that out with NHS. But we'll take those large donations, but really look at those corporate sponsorship levels and the $500, and that added up to a lot of money last year. We had how many local sponsors, Aaron? 32 local sponsors, yes. And it really came to the majority of those came from team captains. The other point I just want to say, because you'll have people that will come to you and say, we want to give in kind and we want to be recognized for that. You really need to, if you get one of those leads, and in kind is instead of giving money, they'll give some product or some service. We are very particular with the walk, and it's important that it has to be something that really helps us that's already budgeted. So, and those items are really kind of the food for the breakfast, some minimal decoration.
Yep.
So if somebody comes to you and says, I don't know, I want to give you 400 pillows, and can we have a $5,000 sponsorship for that? Well, we really don't need pillows, so we can't, we can't recognize the donation like that. Now, let me take it just a little bit further. Is say they offered sleeping bags, and they offered us 100 sleeping bags. Well, we could use those for camp, so I don't want it just to be absolutely no, and you tell the person. We might not be able to recognize them at the walk. We might not be able to give them that, but we could begin to build a relationship for example, our camping program. So, so talk to Aaron about those ideas, and really importantly, we are looking for those people to help us out with the breakfast. For the first 2 years, we paid nothing for any of the food and any of the refreshments. So if you do have some ideas, it's a great, the coffee service, we've been able to give them a lot of recognition as they serve the coffee. The people can come out and they can be part of that to really help us make those refreshments available. Anything else with corporate?
No, thank you so much.
Okay.
Up next, I'm going to talk about our new, the last 2 years we've kind of done some incentives to help out with you guys really with fundraising, giving you a little bit more of a reward or incentive to even to want to fundraise. So you most likely have seen our early bird contest that I recently sent out in last week's Team Captain weekly update. We're running this first contest until August 10th, and there's 3 prizes up for grabs, and those are a $100, $75, and $50 Visa gift cards that are cash cards. you can literally take them to the bank. They have a routing number and account number and transfer it right into your bank account. So it's a really nice way to, it's a bonus for you being a team captain. Also, if you need some funds to help out with the team, it's a great way to get something so that you're not breaking your bank. So the way that this first incentive program is working is if you have simply registered to become a team captain, you get 10 tickets. For every $10 that you donate, you get 2 tickets. If you commit to and set a date for a wrap-around event, those are, I'll show you on the next page. That is, for example, like a dress-down day or like a yard sale. Culver's, Subway, Buffalo Wild Wings, Buffalo Wings and Rings do special event nights where you can come in and you use our 501c3 sponsor letter, and they typically donate 20 to 30% of all proceeds of what they make in one night to your team, which is a really easy way to make 500 or around their dollars just for not even really doing anything. And I'll go back over some, and then also recruiting team members. You get 1 ticket for each person who joins your team. And on August 10th, the 5 top fundraising teams will get an additional 25 tickets. The way this is happening, all of these are being calculated, and each team captain each ticket will be put into a raffle drum, and we will be drawing those in the office on Friday, August 10th. And we'll be announcing it on that day as well. If you have any more questions about this first one, don't hesitate to raise your hand right now. I can field those questions, or even call me in the office, email me. So besides this early bird contest, we're also hosting 2 more contests. What the contests actually entail is yet to be announced. But the next contest is going to be held immediately following the second one, August 10th to the 31st, and that prize is going to be an Amazon Kindle Fire. And the third and final and grand prize is going to be for the last push to the end, or on September 1st through the 15th. We'll be drawing at the walk, and the prize is going to be a new iPad, an iPad 3. So we're very excited about these prizes and these incentives. I personally am really excited, and I hope you guys are too. So I actually am I'm seeing who's on the call. The next thing we wanted to do was to be doing a website demo, but I actually can tell that everyone on the call has actually already made a has already made a team. So I'm actually going to skip over this section. Up next, one thing that we really have really cool going on is we're actually the first and only chapter and part of the National Walk Program that actually has invested in doing in having an iPhone and Android mobile app created. And our other walk chair, Julie, is going to talk us through these apps as she has really been working with them. So Julie, you're live right now.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say that this mobile app is really cool. I downloaded it for my iPhone the other day, and I've been having fun playing around with it and uploading pictures and different things to it. So it's really a good thing for this walk. The first thing you want to do is do a search in your app store and find it. You go to Hemophilia Walk, and it's under Chicago. That'll be in parentheses. Like Aaron said, it's the only one there, so it's pretty easy to find. And you want to register your name and stuff and add a password. You can register any of your team members, so anybody that has a phone like this, an Android or an iPhone, they can register just on this app. It'll have all the information about the event and about the charity and stuff like that, so it's great, very informative. If you look at the bottom of the right-hand picture where it says Bleeding Shores Alliance of Illinois, wait, go back, Aaron. There's all, oh, it's there. Never mind. It's all these little buttons here that says Progress, My Profile. This is where you navigate throughout the whole app. So it's down there. And it'll tell you the amount you've raised and your fundraising goal. So you'll want to set your goal when you register, and I think Erin said everyone here had already registered, so that's good. And you can click on this button here to get sponsors. Anytime anyone wants to donate, if you have your phone there, you can just talk to them and say, hey, I can get your sponsorship right here, and they can make a donation. You can also send out emails and go through Facebook and Twitter by clicking the any of these buttons here. And I'm a big fan of Facebook. I post all over Facebook to get people to come donate. So that's one of my big things. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter, use this app, use your accounts and get donations there. And click the donate button here too. That's how you can get them if you're talking to someone face to face. You just click that donate now button, and that'll, you know, link you up so you can put in the donation. So that's the app.
Yeah, and just to reemphasize what Julie said, I think what the coolest function of this is like literally like if you're hanging out with some friends, you know, out on the night, like a town and stuff, like hitting that donate now and handing it to your friends, they can put in their credit card information right there and make a donation. So there's no excuse to not be able to pass it around the table. It's a great way.
And I was able to download it while Julie were making that presentation.
So it's, yep, right there. So Julie, thank you so much for that insight.
No problem. You can also do messages through this app. There's a message button on there. So if you want to communicate with your team, you can type in messages to your team. And that's pretty cool because Mona mentioned earlier, communication with your team members is really important. So make sure you keep updating the messages and sending them out to your team. Because, I mean, how easy is it to grab your phone and read a message from your team captain? You know, so everyone can use it.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and at this point, we're getting to about the end of our presentation, and we wanted to talk a little bit more kind of where we are in terms of needs for the event. Every year we have a little trouble in terms of getting volunteers. Obviously, we don't want our community to be volunteering. A lot of times you think about like the golf or the gala or any camp, we get a lot of volunteers that are within our community. And this event is for the community. We don't want you guys to be volunteering. One instant thing that I know off the top of my head is that Kohl's actually has a volunteer program. So if anyone is near a Kohl's, it's a lot more personable if someone is able to come in and with the form and talk to a store manager. Kohl's has this great program that if we can recruit 5 employees from a store, that store will actually make a $500 donation. And we'll even go to the point where like whoever is initiating with the Kohl's, that if they get that, we'll add that onto their team. So it's another great way to get volunteers is also helping out with you and your team goals. Additionally, so if you also are if you have any connections with local civic groups, you know, churches, whatever, and you know that they might be able to volunteer, I would love to hear your ideas. In a minute, we're going to open up the floor for discussion, and we can talk about that. Also, what Bob was talking about earlier in terms of in-kind, you know, we've had I Have a Bean that comes out and does our coffee and stuff. We're hopefully working. We'll have them back this year as well. But you know, we typically are looking for fresh and whole fruits. If you are a Costco customer, going to their customer service and actually asking for they typically make donations to local food banks and stuff. But if you actually ask for an event, obviously putting a face on the cause, we can actually get some fresh fruit and stuff donated. Same as we're looking for, granola bars, juice. We're going to have water at the event from one of our corporate national sponsors. And at that point, that really concludes our formal presentation. And I would like to try to unmute everyone and see how much reverb we get. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute and see if we can get some conversation going.
Unmuted.
Okay, guys. Questions?